Name so pretentiously stupid, one wonders whether she just typed fancy name for lifestyle website into ChatGPT.
But I love that you use the word pretentious because that was my first instinct.
Hello, Sussex Squad family. Welcome back to another episode of Countering Negativity and Media Bias with factual reporting and insightful commentary. Here at Royal Telly, my name is Kenneth. How often do we question the motives of those who criticise others, particularly when the target is someone as role model as Meghan Markle? It's a question that's been lingering in the air recently, especially when faced with the remarks of Kinsey Schofield and Rita Panahi. The pair took the Duchess of Sussex to task for her efforts to become a part of the Santa Barbara community, a notion that seems, on the surface at least, quite commendable. The language used by Schofield and Panahi is worth noting. They labelled Meghan's actions as pretentious, a word that carries a heavy load of judgment and disdain.
Since Meghan Markle launched her lifestyle brand, American Riviera Orchard, on Instagram, a name so pretentiously stupid, one wonders whether she just typed fancy name for lifestyle website into ChatGPT. Kinsey, what can we expect from American Riviera Orchard?
The American Riviera Orchard, someone compared the name to a senior living facility. She's definitely trying to, I guess, really plant herself in this Santa Barbara community, which is interesting because she's only lived there 4 years. It's like being a duchess for only 19 months and insisting people still refer to you as one.
Pretentious implies an attempt to impress by affecting greater importance than is actually possessed. But is this truly the case with Meghan? Or is there something more at play here? We can't help but wonder why these women have chosen to view Meghan's actions in such a negative light. Is it because they see her as an outsider, an individual who in their eyes doesn't belong in the Santa Barbara community? Or are their views influenced by their own preconceived notions about what it means to be a member of the royal family? Perhaps they see Meghan's actions as a calculated move, a way to garner more attention and increase her public profile. But isn't that what all public figures do? They use their platforms to make a difference, to shine a light on the issues that matter to them. Why don't they? Should Meghan be any different? The use of the term pretentious seems to suggest a lack of understanding, a failure to recognise the genuine intentions behind Meghan's actions. It's easy to make snap judgments to create a narrative that fits our own biases, but it's much harder to look beyond the surface to see the person behind the public persona. If we are to understand this situation fully, we must first explore the other side of the story. It's time to peel back the layers, to delve deeper into the motivations and intentions of those who have chosen to criticise Meghan Markle. Only then can we begin to unravel the truth. Meghan Markle's actions are not pretentious at all, but simply a genuine effort to become part of her new community. Let's consider this for a moment. Meghan Markle, the Duchess of Sussex, has faced a barrage of criticism since stepping into the limelight. Yet, she continues to use her platform for good despite the constant scrutiny. Let's take a step back and examine her philanthropic efforts. Meghan has always been an advocate for social justice, even before her royal days. She's been involved in numerous charitable causes, from gender equality to animal welfare. Since moving to Santa Barbara, she's extended her outreach to the local community as well, launching the American Riviera Orchard. This isn't a vanity project, but a genuine attempt to contribute viewed positively to her new home. Then there's the issue of public scrutiny. Meghan has borne the brunt of media criticism for years now, yet she remains undeterred. Rather than retreating into a shell, she's chosen to step out, be visible, and make a difference. Isn't there something commendable about that? Isn't it possible that the so-called pretentiousness is just a misinterpretation of her resilience and determination to affect change? And let's not forget the impact she's had on her new community. The American Riviera Orchard account has already garnered over 500,000 followers in just a few weeks. That's 500,000 people who are interested in what Meghan is doing, who appreciate her efforts and want to be part of this journey. Isn't that a testament to her positive influence rather than an indicator of pretentiousness? So, when we look at the other side of the story, it becomes clear that Meghan's actions isn't pretentious, but rather a sincere attempt to use her influence for the greater good. It's easy to throw around words like pretentious, especially when they're directed at someone who's constantly in the public eye. But perhaps it's time we question these critics. Are they really being fair? Or are they simply projecting their own insecurities onto Meghan? Meghan's critics are the ones being pretentious, not Meghan herself. The evidence suggests that Meghan Markle is not trying to plant herself into the Santa Barbara community out of pretentiousness, but out of a genuine desire to make a difference. And it's this difference, this unfettered determination to use her influence for positive change that Kinsey Schofield and Rita Panahi seem to have overlooked in their critique. Let's recap this narrative. We've questioned the critics, peeled back the layers of their comments, and what we've found is a narrative that's lacking in clear evidence and brimming with bias. We've presented the other side of the story, the side that's often eclipsed by the more sensational headlines. The side that shows Meghan Markle not as a pretentious figure trying to worm her way into a community, but as a woman of influence seeking to use her platform for good. Schofield and Panahi's comments were quick to label, quick to judge, but in their haste, they've missed the crucial point. Meghan's actions are not rooted in pretentiousness. They are driven by a desire to make a difference. And that's a desire we've seen reflected in her work, her dedication to American Riviera Orchard, her commitment to her followers. We've seen her engage with the Santa Barbara community, not as a pretentious outsider, but as a committed member. We've seen her use her platform to shed light on issues that matter. We've seen her use her influence to make a difference. And in a world that's often riddled with cynicism and negativity, shouldn't we be applauding such efforts rather than tearing them down? In conclusion, it's not Meghan who's the pretender here. It's critics like Schofield and Panahi, who in their rush to judge have missed the essential truth of Meghan's actions. They've overlooked the sincerity, the dedication, the genuine desire to make a difference. Perhaps it's time we reconsider who the real pretenders are in this narrative. Is it Meghan who's using her influence for positive change? Or is it those who choose to ignore the evidence and cling to their own biased narratives? The answer we know is quite clear, and it points directly to Kinsey Schofield and Rita Panahi.